Society on the North Shore may have found a Golden Girls kind of solution to the housing crisis. In a new program called Hidden Housing Solutions, local seniors in need of affordable housing are matched up with other seniors who have a spare bedroom. Joining us to share more details is Lindsey Shepherd, coordinator of the Hidden Housing Solutions. Good morning to you, Lindsey.
Hi, Stephen. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being with us. Tell us how this seniors home sharing program started.
Yeah, so it started about 10 years ago as a response to what was happening on the North Shore of Vancouver. So I work for the Hollyburn Society. We're a non-profit that have been serving that community for over 20 years. And one of my colleagues noticed two things were happening simultaneously, that there were older adults who were living in homes that had been a family home for many years, had multiple bedrooms and had maybe had their family move out, had been through a bereavement or a divorce, and now were left in these big homes that were becoming quite difficult to manage as they aged and were at risk of social isolation, whilst at the same time their neighbours were also older adults who were on fixed incomes as they retired and were struggling with the rising living costs. And they thought, what if we could put these people together in a safe and supported way? And that was what the Hidden Housing Solutions program was born out of. So it's really been 10 years of groundwork.
And how many single-family homes are we talking about here that are occupied by just one or two people on the North Shore?
So there's 29,000.
Whoa.
So there's really an untapped market of resources there for the housing crisis. It's not necessarily that we don't have housing stock, but it's how we can repurpose what we already have that's hidden in plain sight.
Right. And so tell me about the benefits then of pairing seniors together as roommates.
Yeah, so we really see this as a partnership in ageing. I think one of the main drivers for people is companionship. And from the early conversations that I've had with people since we've launched, it's not necessarily that older people don't have community, but it's that they are looking for somebody to do nothing with, having that person to have a cup of tea at the end of a hard day or go to the shops and grab some milk if that's what they need. So we're hoping to offer that as well as peace of mind and reassurance that somebody else is in the home, somebody to share household costs with. For the homeowner, it allows them to stay in the home and community that they love. And for a home seeker, it gives them the opportunity to have better access to amenities or a neighbourhood that they otherwise might not be available to them on a single income.
And how much of a driver is the cost factor?
Yeah, I think the affordability side of things is also really important with those rising living costs and being on a fixed income. Affordability is a big cornerstone of our program. And so we are looking at making that financial contribution that a home seeker pays around 30% of their income. So no more than 30%.
And for that, I guess, how do you match people up?
So we look at a range of different compatibility factors. So we look at somebody's routines, what their expectations are in terms of sharing space, affordability, location, accessibility, what their preferences are towards smoking, pets, noise, guests, cleanliness. So we really take the time to get to know people. And I think that's something that differentiates us from other home sharing programs because we really match based on compatibility rather than availability. For us, it's not just about filling empty rooms.
Right.
We want to make genuinely good matches.
And how do you ensure the safety of both those who are renting out rooms and the people who are renting the room?
Yeah, great question. So safety is really important to us. And I guess that comes in the screening of the participants. So we ask everybody for a criminal record check. We do in-person interviews. We look at their personal references. We verify their ID. For a home seeker, we look at their credit history and proof of their income. And then once participants are matched, they then agree an agreement, which will be a legal document that includes all of the information around the finances, the notice periods, And then we continue to offer support, not just during the matching period, but also afterwards. And that's really important so that we can highlight if something isn't working and intervene early and break down those barriers so that people don't have to reach out to us first.
Right. And if somebody, moves in and it's a match that perhaps doesn't work despite your best efforts, does the person have an opportunity to perhaps be matched with another roomie?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're hoping that the compatibility element of it and the clear conversations that we have before somebody moves in minimises the likelihood that that will happen. But we really encourage people to have open conversations, thinking about what their plan B might be afterwards. And if things don't work out, then that's okay. We have a trial period, which is optional if both parties agree to that. And it might be that things don't work out and there is an opportunity then to be matched with somebody else.
Now, this is happening only on the North Shore right now. Is that right? Is there anything like this elsewhere in the Lower Mainland?
That's correct. So we're responding specifically to the pressures that are on the North Shore. There are other home sharing programs, both locally and internationally. How we're different to those programs is we don't take a fee for service, and because we're designed for seniors, we don't rely on apps or computer-based programs or algorithms. We're really a relationship-based program. So getting to know those people on a really personal level.
And what has been the feedback so far among the people that you've managed to bring together?
We've had a really positive uptake, and it's been a busy couple of weeks. We launched 2 weeks ago. We've had a lot of interest, and we've had a lot of questions. I think for lots of people, they're not necessarily familiar with home sharing, and that's okay. So we've got lots of resources, both on our website, which is hiddenhousingsolutions.ca, and printed materials. But I think the most important thing for me is that we don't rush. We are a pilot program, and for me, the most important thing is making good matches, and good matches take time. So we're taking the time to learn where the demand is, what the barriers are, and then hopefully in future we can scale up and support more people.
And you're not taking, as you said, a fee from anyone in this. So how are you financing your organization?
So we were really lucky that we had a private donor fund the program who just really believed in the idea. It's something that doesn't necessarily fit into traditional housing models.
Right.
So they really believed in the idea, and it's given us the opportunity to make those learnings and hopefully grow over time.
That's wonderful news. And it does seem to me like something, government could be funding in part through a grant.
Yeah, well, we hope in the future that we can continue to scale up and serve other communities that might be more rural or isolated than the North Shore, so Vancouver Island and the Sea to Sky region, etc.
Lindsey, it's great to hear you this morning. Thank you so much, and congratulations for getting this off the ground.
Thank you so much for having me.
Really appreciate it. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
That is Lindsey Shepherd, coordinator of Hidden Housing Solutions. That is a home sharing program from the Hollyburn Society. That society supports vulnerable young people as well as seniors and families on the North Shore.